Okay guys, so I played Disorder, which came out like roughly a few days ago, and this is the game that my fellow gamers has been calling the budget Stellar Blade. Well, after spending $30 on it and playing for about what feels like an hour last night, I have a lot to say, and it's not good. Let me start with what I knew going in, which, to be honest, wasn't that much. I'd seen exactly one trailer which was released a couple of days before the release of the game, but anyways, I decided to buy it simply because I love Stellar Blade and wanted to see if really Disorder can live up to that comparison, but obviously it did not. So, going back, the menu was interesting. It made me curious and think maybe this is an actual good game. So the game actually starts with a cutscene that's supposed to set up the plot. And to be honest, I tried to follow it, but after a few lines, I'm so confused. Like, I have no idea what is really going on. At first, we have this presumably main character trying to go back to the department store. Then a few seconds later, we have a kid trying to add up to the plot, which doesn't make any sense. And alas, why the hell did she mention knife when she is holding a katana?
Why do I have a knife in my hand?
Damn it. Continuing with the voice acting, it sucks. Maybe at the first part it felt pretty good, but it went downhill from there. And I want you guys to listen to this.
This very disturbing video we're showing you is live footage. The explosion occurred on all floors, including the basement. The first floor entrance is blocked. And there was a chain reaction of explosions on every floor. It is the worst accident that caused enormous casualties. There are no survivors in the news. No, the only survivor.
Alright, I don't get why they had like the pause there, like for dramatic effect, but it doesn't even feel like dramatic. Simply because of the voice acting there was so bland and so boring that it doesn't feel like a real news. And I also want to point out that this part of the scene wants you to picture out that this is a grave incident. But in the whole news or the broadcast that they showed, there are no people being shown, only inanimate objects. That was it. And then there's this one more voice acting that really took me out of the game.
There was a gift desk. Your abilities can only get stronger. Weapons, health, combat, survival. Visit us anytime.
Yeah guys, after hearing that, let me know in the comments down below what you think or what you're gonna be expecting of this game. Anyways, for me, the script is just bad. Alright, let's talk about the movement here because it's awful. Let's first take a look at how our protagonist duck walks. That definitely doesn't look right to me. Clearly, the devs didn't think that you would be walking in this game, but that is not even the worst part. Now, when it comes to gameplay, especially like when there is fighting, right? There shouldn't be any kind of delay in your button pressing, but there is in this game. Even when you're not fighting, you can definitely feel it. So, movement feels sluggish, it's bad, but the combat animations actually look cool. And that is one of the good things of this game. So upon continuing, I died. Well, which was really part of the game. They want you to die so that they can introduce you to the core mechanics of the game. That's when I realized that this game is actually a roguelike dungeon crawler. That means every time you die, you lose all your skills. You have to start all over again. You're given a random skills and have to grind money to buy tiny stat upgrades, tiny as like 1% every time. So that means you do have to do this over and over again, seeing the same shit, looking for the same shit, and hope that you can finally beat the damn boss so that you can proceed to another round of doing the exact same thing. And I also do have to mention that because it's roguelike, that means the skills that you can get is totally random. That, in my case, in my first round, I didn't even get the second skill. All I got were accessories. So expecting you to beat the boss with only that, they're gonna be expecting you to be really skillful in order for you to beat the boss. With that said, it's hard to be skillful when the controls are clunky and at the same time you have input lag. And the camera doesn't sit still because it's way too horny by just focusing on the character's butt. So definitely this is a grindy game, and to sum up my first impressions, I don't think this game is worth your time. I highly suggest checking out Stellar Blade because that one is one hell of a game. Way better than Disorder. If you do check out Stellar Blade or have played Stellar Blade, you can check out my other videos about Stellar Blade right here. If not, you can always check out my other videos over here. By the way, my name is Dark, and I hope that I'll see you again next time.